I'm going to teach you offline conversion tracking. And this is kind of a pain, to be honest with you, but it's so important, for lead generation campaigns specifically. Right now, if you're running a lead gen campaign, let's say you generate 3 leads, okay? Leads A, B, and C. Lead A doesn't close, doesn't become a customer. Lead B closes, but doesn't make you a ton of money. Lead C closes and is like amazingly profitable. Right now, if you're running a normal lead gen campaign and you're not importing the conversion value data offline, Google treats all 3 of those leads as equal. And it's like, all right, bro, I'm going to go get you more of these 3 leads. What you want to do is say, hey, Google, you know, this person wasn't great. This person was okay. I'll take them if they come in. This is what I want to prioritize. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So there's a little bit in the way of, there's a lot, actually, of manual intervention. And there's some notes that I'm going to offer up, some work that you already have to have been doing. The first and most important thing is you need to be capturing Gquid parameters. And what that means, and you've seen this, anytime you click on an ad, there's a big, long, ugly string of data that's appended to the URL. When somebody converts on your website, when they call or they fill out a form, you can actually capture that data through the conversion action. So if they fill out the form, the Gquid is the Google Click ID, you can capture that and append that to their contact information inside of whatever CRM you're using. So you have to be using a CRM. A lot of CRMs do this automatically now. I think HubSpot, Salesforce, Go High Level, I think even they're capturing Gquid parameters. If they're not, this is not difficult to set up. Just about any developer should be able to do it for you. So make sure that when somebody converts, you're capturing Gquid. Because if you're not, you can't import offline conversions. You can't, because you have to tell Google who the person was in order for them to identify them later. This is the unique click ID associated to that individual. And so in order to be able to track them, you have to be capturing Gquid. So please make sure you're doing that. Google actually has documentation on how to do that, which I will share. So enable your website and lead tracking system. I'm not a smart enough person to walk you through this. I don't do this for myself. We've got a couple people on staff that help. But the way I understand it is there's a cookie that caches this information throughout the user's browsing tenure and actually beyond if they come back. And then if and when they convert, the cookie will inject that into whatever form they fill out. And there's a way to use GTM to capture Gquid too. So I'll include this link in the description of the video. But just make sure you're capturing Gquid. If you're not, you can't do anything. And this isn't going to work for you. That's number one. Number two, the other thing that you have to do is in your campaign settings. So I'm in all campaigns, go to settings, go to account settings. In the account settings, you have to make sure auto tagging is on. If this isn't on, you don't get the information that you need for offline conversions. It actually says it here. This automatically adds a parameter URL to help you track offline conversions. So if auto tagging is off, you're SOL. So make sure that auto tagging is on. Once that's done, now the tutorial starts. Okay, so get ready. We're going to do a couple of things. The first one is we need to go create a conversion action. So let's go to conversions. Let me delete this because I don't want it. I don't want you. Nobody loves you. All right, so we're going to say new conversion. And just in case you missed that, we've got conversion actions. I'm going to say new conversion. And it's going to ask me the type of conversion action. This is a new conversion action. We're going to say import. And I can import conversions from multiple properties, which honestly, some of this is pretty cool. I don't like relying on Google Analytics conversion data, but I like having it so I can see it and reconcile against it. So just a note for you, you can import conversions from Google Analytics so that you can see my ads from Google Ads, or my conversions from Google Ads versus my conversions from Google Analytics. How are they matching up? And they'll always be a little bit off because of attribution settings, but they should be close. But what I'm going to encourage you to do, and by the way, Salesforce has a direct Google Ads integration. It's freaking amazing. I don't use Salesforce, but I've seen other people use it. So if you have it, good on you. It's super expensive. We're going to say other data sources or CRMs. Now, a couple of options here. Track conversions from clicks, track conversions from calls. In order to track conversions from calls, you have to be using a call tracking solution that captures Gquid. We use call tracking metrics. High Level also captures Gquid, I believe. So just FYI, CallRails had an issue with it for a while, but I'm pretty sure they've figured that out. So if you're using CallRails, you might be in good shape. I'll let you figure this out because it's really very similar from a process standpoint. We're going to go through this tutorial, which I think is more applicable to more people, which is track conversions from clicks. So let me just give you this use case again. Somebody comes to your website, likes what you have to say, fills out your form. They've opted in, they're a lead. You've already tracked that conversion action. Bam, they're a lead. Then you call them. And you're like, hey, I've got this thing to sell. And they're like, hey, I want to buy the thing. And then they become a closed deal. Well, Google doesn't know that second step happened. So we need to tell Google that second step happened. And this conversion action is defining that second step. That's what we're doing. We're telling Google there's a second step. We're not appending information to the first step. That's what a lot of people think this is. We're telling Google there's a second step. Quick note. Google will automatically pre-categorize this as imported lead. I don't like that. It's a purchase, assuming that you're actually importing purchase values, which is what I'm asking you to do. I would prefer you say this is a purchase because I have a feeling, and I have no way to prove this, Google's never come out and said this, but I think that Google's using sales categories in order to inform its machine learning. So you have to make sure that we're choosing the right categories here. I could be wrong, in which case it means nothing, right? It's just the way that things are segmented. We're now going to name this, so why don't we say, and make sure with your naming conventions you're really clear, because you're actually double counting conversions for an individual user here, and you need to be able to segment by conversions. So you might want to say, purchased or offer or whatever. Under conversion value, unless all your products are the exact same value, you're going to say use different values for each conversion. Now, don't worry too much about this value because it doesn't matter. We're going to import these values on a one-on-one basis. Add a default value that makes sense just in case you ever have a data point that doesn't get entered, on accident or otherwise, so it doesn't completely screw up your data. So our management fee starts at $1,000 a month, so maybe I'd put $1,000 in there or whatever. You can use the same value if all of your products and all of your everything is the same. Now for count, we want to count every, and I know that's kind of it's a change in what I usually teach you when we're building conversion actions. That's because we're importing these actions, and we're not going to import purchases that don't need to be counted. So we're going to count every purchase that we import. The click-through conversion window is going to stay 90 days, and this actually gets a little bit dangerous because if you have a purchase that takes place beyond the 90-day window, there's ways to gerrymander this data. I'm not going to teach you how to do that because it just gets super convoluted, but not all of this is going to potentially land. Now, including conversions, I disagree with a lot of people who teach this. You'll see in other videos and blogs and whatever, they say don't include it in the conversions because you're double counting conversions. Well, yeah, so your conversion action count will be higher because you have one person who took two actions. The problem is they took two separate actions. And this isn't like e-commerce where we don't want to count, add to cart, click checkout, whatever. They actually took two separate actions. So you are influencing your conversion data. And I know everybody's so used to looking at that conversion column as, oh, that's the number of leads I got. So realize that you're about to kind of screw that up a little bit. But what this does is it lets you add a value to conversion events that allows for optimization against that value. So when you include this in conversions, you're letting Google take that conversion value, and now you actually get to go and optimize against a specific return on ad spend or value-based strategy. So I say, including conversions, put up with the fact that you are double counting. But that's okay because they're doing two separate things. So it's one person doing two separate things. That's why in your reporting you can go in and you can segment by conversion action, and you'll be able to see the difference. And now you'll be able to see conversion values in the column and optimize against those values. Your attribution model is going to be the same as whatever you're using for your campaign. There's different use cases for different attribution models. You should already know that. Last click, if you have no idea what you're doing, you don't want to mess with it. Time decay, I think, is the gold standard. There are a ton of reasons to use every attribution model here. I don't have David driven. This is my Sandbox account. First click if you're focused entirely on user acquisition. Position-based. I have a whole video on this, by the way. So if you don't know what you're doing, do last click. Or default to whatever you were using elsewhere. I think time decay, to be honest, if you're actually messing with your data, this is where I like to live because it's just the easiest. Position-based makes a lot of sense because it prioritizes the first and the last interaction, which are the most important interactions, right? It's like, how did I get you? What made you close? But realize that with this conversion action, we're including this. It's kind of self-imposed inflation. So choose whatever you think is best for your account. One really quick note, though, and this is super cool, and I've never used it. So just know that I'm about to be an epic hypocrite. But Google allows for external attribution. Which means you can define conversion credit and then import that data back into Google, and they teach you how to do this. I've never used it for myself or for a client. Honestly, we just haven't encountered a use case where it really made sense. But for those of you that have like a mass amount of data and you want to go in there and sort of predefine the values, this is a really cool tool that you could mess around with. So we've got our conversion event. I'm going to say create and continue. You've set up purchase core offer. and now I've got my conversion action purchase core offer. This is a sandbox account. I should have more conversion actions. So I should see like, became a lead, whatever. So now what I need to do is I need to import these conversions. Where's my little sheet? I'll just get a new one. So what you're going to do is you're going throughout your day, and you're going to want to do this on a regular cadence, by the way. So let's say that you're doing this monthly, or depending on how many leads you're getting every week or whatever. You're going to go, and I'll teach you how to get back here, just in case you don't remember. Tools and settings, conversions, collect, upload, and you can schedule uploads, which is really cool. You can actually schedule uploads from a Google Sheet, but we're just going to do a manual upload for now, so you know how to do it. When you select plus, Google gives you these templates, which are really cool. Now watch, their CSS is broken. You say view templates, and Google Sheets is off here on the side, which I think is so funny. So a couple of things. Conversions from clicks, super cool. Conversions from clicks, external attribution, if you want to play with that, awesome. I haven't done it. I don't know how, technically speaking, to set that up. I can figure it out. Conversions from calls is available to you, and then there's existing adjustments if you wanted to go back and retroactively adjust something. We're going to say conversions from clicks, and I'm going to use Google Sheets because it's the easiest. Let's make a copy of this document. Come on. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do this in between calls, so if I seem rushed, that's why. I wanted to make sure I got my video in today. So copy the document. Name this something applicable. So, we'd say like purchase core offer, and save this to my drive. And now, the very first thing you have to do is go update the time zone. Now, you can actually have a time zone independent of... like if you have different conversions across different geographical regions, you can update independent time zones for every single individual conversion. But if you don't, like I'm in Arizona and I'm just going to say all of them are Arizona based, go get the time zone code that's most applicable. And I'll include a link to this. Here's what's really funny. This is so funny. Google gives you the parameters, the time parameters, the time formats. You can actually capture them here. And then what else? Where was it that I found it? Google actually doesn't use their own. Oh yeah, here it is. So for conversion currency, they link to a Wikipedia article when Google actually has their own inside the AdWords API. They have their own resource. So I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, update the time zone that's applicable. You can do global time zone or per conversion. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have the Google Click ID. This is the Gquid that you captured from the customer. You should be able to get this from your CRM. I don't have it. And I'm not going to use a real one, obviously. So I've got what I've got here, but you are adding every record is an individual customer record. So, Tom, Sally, Harry, Qasim, everybody who converted, you just add their Gquid ID, and now Google knows effectively who that person is. It's actually really kind of creepy. And then your conversion name. This is important. The conversion name is case sensitive. If you screw this up, you're not going to append your conversion properly. So you want to go in here and make sure that you get the exact name that you have, and then you upload it there. And then your conversion time, Google gives you some date formats that you can use. I think I have them already because I wanted to be ready for y'all. Yeah, here we go. So here are all the date formats that are available and accessible to you. I'm going to just grab one real quick and tell Google this is my conversion time. Why does it do that? What a weird formatting issue. And then conversion value. Are these merged? Yeah, that was weird. Conversion value, I wonder if that was a straight keystroke for me, is whatever it is. So $500. And then conversion currency, you need to choose the currency code that's most applicable for you. USD is for me. And then you want to add every single offline conversion with every single subsequent value. So I could do, and this isn't going to work, by the way. It's going to throw an error. Let's just say that this was the same thing, but a day later. And this was $400. And this was also USD, etc. So I have all my conversion events, all my conversion values. Now I go into upload, select source, Google Sheets, link to existing sheet, and then it's going to give me a list of my sheets, and here's my most recent one. So I've got purchase core offer. I select. Oh! I forgot. I got to make this Poison. I have to give this email edit access as an editor. Select send. Share anyway. How am I doing on time? I'm good. So now I'm like, cool, and don't apply preview, y'all. Super important because chances are I made some mistakes. So I preview, and now sometimes it takes a minute just to query. And Google, by the way, says it takes 24 hours to import all offline conversions. I've seen it happen a lot faster than that usually. So just know that you might have to wait. it's going to throw me 2 errors because my Gquids aren't real. But let's see if there are any other errors. Yeah, Gquid has been altered or is invalid. So I can't actually upload these, obviously, because they're not real Gquids. But this is the process that you would go through. So you would upload the conversion events. You would use the Gquids in order to identify those conversion events. And now, when you go into your data... Oh, no, there's something else I got to show. Gosh, Qasim, idiot. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. In conversion actions, number 1, you can set up conversion action sets. So you might want to build a conversion action set that shows that tells people, like, this is where they come in for a lead, this is where they go to make a purchase, or whatever. Like, any conversions that live together, you build those conversion action sets. That way, in your campaigns, where is it? Oh, I'm in the wrong settings. So let me teach you how to get there all the way. So when I'm in all campaigns, I choose a campaign, and I've got my made up search campaign, and then I go to my settings. I've got my conversions, and I will choose the conversion action and or conversion action sets that apply for this conversion. That's how to get that data into this campaign from a data view perspective. And so now, when I'm in the campaign and I'm checking out campaign performance or whatever, this is all imported and applicable and relevant and all that good stuff. I hope this was helpful, and I'd love your feedback, by the way, if this is, hopefully I didn't go too fast. These are recorded, so you can go back and watch and view. This is like ninja stuff. This is stuff that 99% of advertisers don't do. But the minute you do, it gives Google the information that it needs to, like, really begin to optimize. So I want to keep bringing you stuff like this, but I also don't want to, like, shoot videos that aren't relevant to anybody. So if this is helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you disagree with anything I said, I'd love to know. I can learn from you. I do often. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more of these. I shoot a video every day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.